Hello, welcome for another day's singing. How are you today? It's a beautiful day here in Sydney. We seem to be getting a run of them. So we are continuing to work on breathing. And the question for today is a very simple one, which is just, are you working too hard? Apparently all those of us who are working from home are working harder than ever. So that's good to have that validation, isn't it? But in terms of singing, sometimes it's very easy to put way too much effort into the text or into the first few notes of a phrase, and then you find by the end of the phrase you've got nothing left. So just one really simple thing to be mindful of today. Are you working too hard to be able to get to the end of the phrase in one breath? Okay, let's have a stretch. Simple one today. Just one hand on one side of your head, and bring your head gently down so that your ear is heading towards your shoulder. And back up to the middle. And then we come down the other way. And back up to the middle. Our sound of the day is about breathing. Now, if you have constriction in your throat, which is what we don't want, chances are your breathing will be noisier than it needs to be. So we're going to practice taking a noisy breath and then working our way up to taking a silent breath. So I want you first to take a breath that's really gaspy and raspy. All right, try that. What do you have to do here to get that sound happening? Try again. Now what we want to do is to try to get to a silent breath. So for a silent breath, everything here should be nice and open and relaxed. So maybe imagine you're having a little bit of a smile or a little bit of a yawn. See if you can get a silent breath happening. A good way to check that your breath is truly silent and relaxed is to put your hands over your ears and to breathe in. If you can't hear yourself breathing in, then you've probably got very little constriction, if any, going on in your throat. Try again. All right, singing wise, please say bitter butter. Now say it very lazily, bitter butter. This exercise is just those words over and over again, nice and fast. If you find yourself tripping over your own tongue, try and use less energy with your tongue and with your lips. Like this. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Keep it gentle. Don't do it with too much energy. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Do another one just like that, but add a whole heap of way too much energy. Bitter butter, really work hard. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Okay, it should make it a little harder to get to the end of the phrase. Now, gentle, relaxed one. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Bitter butter, 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 bit. Sorry about the pitch there. I hope you were more in tune than me at the end. Okay, some vowels, nice and sustained, these ones. Check in with the tip of your tongue that it's lying behind the back of your bottom teeth, and that's blades rolling forward for the E, flattening slightly for the air, stays nice and flat for the R or U, and that it's not pulling backwards at any point. Let's go a little slower. Take a nice relaxed breath. Really focus on getting those vowels as resonant as you can. They should feel like they've got some ping to them. Oh, that was an interesting chord. Let's try this one. Last exercise. Some sounds are good at really helping your air keep moving. You can use or but today we're going to try zh, as in zhuzh, like this. So the notes are but using a zh. Now, avoid doing this and letting it all go at the beginning of the sound. Moderate your zh. And with all these sounds, check that the back of your mouth is still nice and tall, so all the action's happening here at the front. Okay, well, I've set myself a bit of a challenge for today. We're returning to Dona Nobis Pacem. This is a really well-known round, and the link to the music was online. If you don't have it in front of you, the words are really simple. Dona Nobis Pacem. Give us peace. The tune is generally 8 bars long. Usually when we sing it, we take a sneaky breath after 4 bars, but as this week we're working on long phrases, let's try to see how close to the 8-bar mark we can get before breathing. Now, this isn't something I can do easily, and I have a confession to make. I really don't prioritize singing practice, so doing this with you has been great for me. This is more singing than I have done in a very long time. So, you know, it's not like I'm a hardened professional, as you can probably tell from some of the glitches that go on here. I have all of the same struggles and grainy, gravelly, awfully weird days and pitch problems and all those kinds of things that that everybody else does as well. So I don't know how I'm going to go getting through 8 bars in one breath, but we're going to try, because the whole point of this is experimenting and stretching ourselves a little bit. So remember, the take-home message for today is don't let it all go at the beginning of the phrase. Don't work too hard at the beginning of the phrase. Don't work too hard on the text either. There are 5 little tunes for this. We might probably do 1, 2, and 3, but if you know the others, at some point you're welcome to break those out too. The first line goes like this. Dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem. Try that. Take a sneaky breath halfway through, and then we're going to push it a little bit. 2. Dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem. Okay, that phrase again. Take a nice relaxed breath. Try to sing through the whole line. If you can't get through the whole line in one breath, see how far you can go, but think not about the beginning of the phrase, but the end of the phrase. Dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem. Right, I got up to bar 7. How did you do? Did you make it? The second line goes like this, and this is harder for me because it sits a little higher in terms of getting all the way through. Dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. Your turn. 1, 2. Dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. Let's try the 8-bar phrase thing. 2. Dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. Still getting to the end of the 6th bar for me. This one's a little lower. This is the 3rd line. Dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. Let's go again. 1, 2. Dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. All right. So with all of the techniques that we've done this week, we've done some spinning of the hands, singing into palms of hands, leaning forward, pulling sounds up from pelvis, not working too hard, taking a relaxed breath. Let's try and put as many of those into play as possible. See how far through these 8 bars we can get before we have to take a breath. Dona nobis pacem, dona nobis. And that's because that line is really in the sweet spot in my range. You might find it easier on some different lines. Okay, we're going to try and put all of this together. Just waiting a minute. My internet's come back online. Okay, we're going to try and put these things together. All 3 lines. 1, 2, and. Dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. Dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. And now one more time through. I'll start with you and sing the first line with you, and then I'm going to double back and sing that first line again so that we're going to end up singing in harmony. If you know parts 4 or 5, you can carry on to those while I finish up on line 3. So you'll get to sing 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, and then a line of your choice. We'll finish together like we started together. Okay, join me for the first line, and then you just carry on. Dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem. You keep going. Dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem. Dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.